In class, welcome to your English video lecture. So students, as you all know that in our previous part we have covered English literature, right? Now today we are going to start English language, and in English language the topic that we are going to cover is models. Okay? So we are going to start the new topic by the name models here. Okay, the video is going to be divided into two parts. First part is going to be this video, and the second part will be coming in the next the second part of the video will come next time. Okay, so let's start. Models are what? Generally, models helps us to express the mood or attitude of the speaker. Okay, what are models? Models or model verbs are the words like can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought. These all are ordinary verbs. Okay, we use all these before ordinary verbs. They are used to convey capabilities, possibilities, permission, necessity, suggestion, invitation, etc. So you see that all these things, that is capability, possibility, permission, necessity, these all are helping, these all are helping the person, the speaker, to set the mood by using the words. By using all these model verbs, we basically do what we are just expressing the mood or attitude of the speaker. So in general, you can say models. What is the work of a model? Model's work is to express the mood or attitude of the speaker. Okay, okay, now let's see how what shall denotes. Okay, how we can see that what the mood or the thing or expression that the shall will denote, the model shall will denote. Okay, so in assertive sentences, shall in the first person gives information about the future action. Okay, it gives you, shall in the first person means I, we. Okay, so shall when used in a first person, then it gives you information about the future action. Okay, let's see examples. I shall be much obliged to you. So it is showing what? It is showing the information that I shall be much obliged to you. Okay, now the second one, which is we shall reach Delhi today. So it is giving you information about the future action. And what is the action that is going to happen in the future? That we are going to reach Delhi today. Okay, so this is when we use shall with first person. It gives you information about the future action. Okay, now let's see shall in the second and the third person. Okay, second and third persons like she, they, he. Okay, when we use these second and third persons, when shall is used with second and third person, what it shows? It shows a promise. Like for example, she shall have the book tomorrow. Okay, it shows the promise that by tomorrow she can have the book, or she will have the book. Okay, the second one is they shall have a holiday tomorrow. So it is also showing a promise that they are going to have a holiday tomorrow, right? So when shall is used to, shall with a second or third person is used to to denote promise. What else? A command. The second one is command. Okay, command means they are basically telling you what to do. As for example, they shall not play there. So this is a command that they shall, the student or the children, those who are playing, they shall not play at that place. Okay, so this is showing a command. They are basically telling you what to do. They are commanding you to do whatever they want, right? Second example, you shall love your neighbors as yourself. right? This is also showing a command. So second person or third person can shall with second person and third person you is used to denote promise, command. What else? Determination. What is determination? Determination means you are fully motivated that you want to do something. Let's see example. They shall work hard. Okay, it is showing the determination that they should have the full enthusiasm to do work hard. Okay, to work harder. Next is what? You shall do what he has told you. Okay, this is also showing the determination that you shall do what he has told you. Okay, so second person or third person, shall with second person and third person is used to denote promise, command, determination, and the third one is threat. Threat means to you can say किसी को आप धमकाना. Okay, so he shall be punished if he does not obey them. So here you can see that this is basically a simple threat that if he or he they will be get punished if they are not obeying what they are saying. Okay, they shall pay for their negligence. Okay, so they shall pay for their negligence. So here you can see that in second and third person, shall is used to denote promise, command, determination, and a threat. Okay, now let's see. In interrogative sentences, shall used in first person indicate simply futurity, wish or opinion of the person spoken to. Okay, so it means that, let's say example, shall I buy this book for you? So here you can see that shall is being used in an interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence is what? Basically asking questions, right? So it indicates the future event, that is simply future event, futurity. Okay, with a wish or opinion of the person who is speaking. Okay, so what is the the here you can see in the first sentence what is the wish of that person, that shall I buy you this book? Okay, the second one is shall we visit the museum? This is also a question where he is the person, the speaker is basically expressing his wish that he wants to go and visit the museum. So he is asking to the other person that shall we visit the museum? Okay, do you permit us to visit the museum? We can also, this basically means this. Okay, that he is basically what wish he has, he is asking for the speaker is asking to the other person. Okay, so these were where we use shall and what shall denotes. Okay, what modal verb shall denotes. Now we are going to see in assertive sentences, will in the second and the third person indicates pure future, that is simple future. Okay, as let's see example, she will go to Kanpur on Monday. So here in this what is being said that she is going to go to Kanpur on Monday. Okay, this is purely this sentence is showing the future tense. Okay, this sentence is showing that simple future tense by giving us information about the future, that she is going to go to the Kanpur on Monday. Okay, the next is they are confident you will pass the examination. Okay, this is also indicating pure future, that they have the confidence that you will pass the examination. Okay, this means that. Now let's move forward. Second, first we have talked about assertive sentences. Now we will talk about assertive sentences. Will indicates a customary or characteristics action which when used in second or third person. Okay, these are when we talk about will denotes for the second and third person. Okay, so it shows the customary or characteristics action, means the action that is a custom. Okay, let's see, she will sit there for hours waiting for her son to come. This is a custom. This is a repeated action that someone is doing, that she is coming there and she is sitting at that particular place and she is waiting for her son for a very long time. Okay, so this is showing the customary, or you can say a repeated action that is turned into a custom. Okay, and third one, which is will in the second and third person, expresses a belief or an assumption on the part of the speaker. Okay, it also helps the speaker to express his assumption or belief that they hold. Assumption means what they think can happen. Okay, कि ऐसा हो सकता है, and belief means what they totally believe. They believe that this will happen. Okay, जैसे कि for example, they will know it. This is a belief, or this is an assumption that they are making, that they will believe it. Second one is Mohit will be back now. Okay, this is also a belief, or you can say assumption, that they think the speaker thinks that Mohit will come back. Okay, so these three parts in the first, second and third, which we have discussed the will in the second and third person. Okay, will used with the second and third person. Now we are going to discuss will with will in the first person. Okay, that is I, me. Okay, so will in the first person is used to denote what it is used to denote a promise. Okay, promise. For example, we will do better this time. Okay, this is purely showing a promise that the speaker who is saying this is saying that he will do better this time. Next is I will teach him maths. This is also a promise, that he is promising to someone that I will teach him maths so that he could get a better marks, right? Then second is threat. Threat means dhamkana. That is, I will dismiss you. Someone, the speaker is saying this, the first person, right? First person, that is singular person, is saying this, that I will dismiss you. We will expose her. These both are basically what they are, threats, right? And will is used in the first person, with the first person, to denote threat. Okay, as we see in these two sentences. Next is willingness. Willingness means the wanting to do something, or want that they have. Okay, let's see example. Don't worry, we will lend you some money. Willingness. Okay, he is willing to help the other person. This is showing, you can understood by this sentence, that the speaker who is saying this is clearly saying that I will help you, so don't worry, I will lend you some money. Second is I will carry your bag to office. This is also showing the willingness to help. Okay, in these both sentences we saw that the willingness of the speaker, that in first sentence he is showing the willingness to offer his money to the other person, and in the second he is showing the willingness to offering the other person that he will carry his bag to the office. Okay, now the fourth is determination. We have already talked about determination of willingness. For the second and third person, we can also determination can also be used for second and third person. Will as to determine the determination, to denote determination. Similarly, will with first person can also be used to denote determination. Determination means the fully motivation to do something. Okay, for example, let's see example. I will succeed in the venture. Okay, so this is showing the determination of the speaker, that he is fully determined that he is going to go and do his fullest and do his best so that he could achieve the success in the venture. Okay, so in assertive sentences, for the first person, will denotes what? It denotes promise, threat, willingness and determination. Now we are going to talk about interrogative sentences. Will used in interrogative sentences, what it basically denotes. Okay, it denotes willingness, intention or wish of the person spoken to. Okay, so the person who is speaking to the other person, so it is basically showing the it denotes the willingness of the speaker, okay, for the other person. Like for example, will you have a cup of coffee. So it is showing the willingness of the speaker to offer the other person coffee, right? He is willing to buy coffee for the other person. Similarly, one more example, will you leave Mumbai on Sunday? Okay, it is showing the question that he is asking, that will you leave Mumbai on Sunday? Okay, so were the was the model will, and we saw that how the model will is used to denote what type of expression by the speaker. Okay, now after we have discussed two, that is first is shall and then will. Now we are going to talk about should. Okay, model should. Okay, so should, the past form of the shall. Okay, so should is the past form of the shall. Okay, so what and how it is used to express duty or obligation in the person, in all persons. Okay, in all persons means first, second or third person. Okay, in first, second and third person, in all the persons it expresses the it is held shall is used to express the speaker's duty or obligation. Like for example, we should help the poor. Okay, so here it is showing the obligation or the duty, that the person, one's duty is to help the other people, to help the poor. We should keep our promise. This is also showing the obligation, that what is our obligation, what is our duty. It is that we should if you have kept we have promised someone something, so we should also keep the promise. It is not like just saying someone something and not even doing that thing. So in these both two sentences you can see the duty or obligation of the speaker. Okay, the determination they have for their duty, and sorry, not the determination, but it expresses the speaker's duty and obligation. Okay, and it is used for all the three persons. Okay, first, second and third. Okay, so here is a note that says that duty in the past is expressed by should have. Okay, in the when we are talking about duty, we use should. Okay, but when we are expressing duty in the past form, then we have to use should have. Okay, let's see how. You should have paid the money long ago. Means this person, the speaker is telling the other person that you should have paid the money. You should have paid the money little earlier. Okay, similarly there is another sentence, that is you should have attended the meeting. Okay, this meeting, the duty that the person had to do was is now in the past form. Okay, so when we are telling someone their duty or obligation, when we use should, we use it with should have if we are expressing it in the past tense. Okay, now let's continue. Should is used to show what type of expression, other expression, that is when giving or seeking advice. When someone is giving some other person advice, or seeking advice means if someone wants some other person's advice. Let's see example of these sentences. Let's say you shouldn't make fun of the disabled. So here the speaker is giving advice to the other person that you should not make fun of other people. Okay, then what else? The how much should I pay for her work? So in this, speaker is asking a question, right? He is seeking advice. He wants advice of the other person to give him advice that how much he should pay for the work that the other person did. Okay, third person did. Okay, so now let's see the third part, that is to express disapproval. We use should with if we want to express disapproval. Okay, just for example, you shouldn't have behaved in this manner. Okay, so here the speaker is expressing his disapproval that the person who did something, he shouldn't have behave in such a manner. Okay, Next is after least to express a negative purpose. After least to express a negative purpose, that let's see example of this. Take heed lest you should fall. He ran fast lest to he should miss the train. It means that to show a negative purpose, that the person was not able, if he was not, because he was not running fast, so he had missed his train. So these are the times, these are the expression that the modal verb should shows. What are those? First one is to express the duty or obligation of a person. Then giving or seeking advice. Then is to express disapproval, and the fourth one is to express a negative purpose. Okay, so these were when we use, or how we, what should expresses, model what should expresses. Now we are going to move on to would. Okay, so first of all, would is the past tense of will. Okay, would is the past tense of will. Now let's see how we use would in a sentence to express what kind of, to express the mood. As you all know that model is used to express the mood of the speaker. So if a speaker is using would, so what type of mood it shows. Okay, so let's see. The first one is to express a wish. Okay, wish. If someone wishes for something, then the speaker will use would as a model verb. Let's see. I would like to see that book. Okay, so here the speaker is saying that he wishes to see the book. Okay, would you like to come to the movie with me? Here also the speaker is wishing, or you can say he's expressing his wish, that he is asking the other person that would you like to come with me to see a movie. Okay, so the first one, first expression that the word modal verb would shows is the expression of wish. Okay, the second is to indicate a refusal. Refusal means if someone wants to reject something, or if someone wants to say no to a particular thing. That is, the car wouldn't start. Okay, so he is showing the refusal, that the car is not able to start. Okay, okay, now the next one is to express determination. Okay, to express determination we use the modal verb would. How? Let's see example. He would not lie. Okay, so here the determination of the speaker is, you can see through the sentence, that he is very sure, pretty much sure, that the person will never lie. Okay, second is he would have his way. Okay, it shows the determination of the speaker, that he knows, he is determined, he knew that the other person will, he would have his own way. He is able to, find his own way through the difficult times. Okay, let's move on. Next is to express willingness in the past. Okay, we use would to express willingness in the past form. For example, she said that she would help me. So here the willingness of a person is, here what is basically said, that someone said to the speaker that she would help him. So here the willingness of the other person, that he or she wanted to help him, is shown. Okay, through this sentence. She would do as you had told her to do. Okay, this is also showing the willingness of the other person, that she is ready to do whatever you will told him to do. Okay, next is in polite speech. Polite means if someone wants to speak to someone else, the speaker wants to speak in polite nature. Okay, that is, let's see example. Would you please lend me your book? Okay, he's politely asking someone else that please would you lend me your book. Okay, next is, would you mind not smoking here? The speaker here is expressing, asking the other person pretty politely, very much politely, he is asking the other person that please would you, instead of using please, he have asked that politely, that would you mind not smoking here? Would you mind that you should not smoke here? So please, can you, go somewhere else, and there you can do your smoking thing. Next is to express past habit. If the speaker wants to express the past habit, then he can use the model verb would to express the past habit. Let's see example. She would sit for hours on this chair. Okay, she would sit for hours on this chair. That means this is a habit of the person, that she comes here and she sits in this chair for a very pretty long time, right? So these are the uses of the word of the model verb would. Okay, to why model verb is used. Model verbs are used to express the express the mood of the speaker. So when the speaker is using the model verb would, so what kind of moods or expression it can show? It can show expression of wish, okay, refusal, wish, determination, then willingness, polite speech, and one more is there, that is habit of a person, past habit of a person. Okay, one more word there, that is to denote condition or unsincerity. Let's see example. I would go there if I was asked. Okay, so here through this sentence the unsincerity of the person is shown, that he is saying basically that I would have gone there, मैं वहाँ चला जाता, but if मुझे कोई वो पूछता, if someone have asked me, I would have gone to that place. Okay, so this shows the condition or you can say unsincerity of the speaker. Through this first sentence you can understand that the speaker is unsincere towards the work that he had to do, that is to go somewhere. So he was unsincere about it. Okay, next is may and might. Now we are going to discuss how we use may to express what type of moods or expressions. Okay, so first of all we will discuss may. May to express permission. If you want to ask permission for something, then you are going to use modal verb may. Let's see examples. You may use my pen for a day. Okay, so here the permission, the speaker is giving permission to the other person that yes, even if he had asked or not, that is a different thing, but he has given the permission to the other person. The speaker has given the permission that yes, you can use my pen. Okay, may I come in, sir? As we all do this many times, as a student you have done this many times. When you go outside and when you come in, you want to enter the class, you ask for permission from your teacher, right? And what you say, may I come in, sir, or may I come in, ma'am? Okay, so this shows permission. May is used to show to express permission. Okay, to express permission or to ask for permission. To express a purpose. Let's see example. She flatters so that she may win favors. She flatters so that she may win favors. It means what? It means that she is buttering someone because she want to ask for favors. Okay, she is flattering you. In Hindi we call na makhan lagana. So similarly in the English we just say it as that she flatters so that she may have win favors from the people. Okay, वो आपको इसीलिए इतना अच्छा अच्छा बोल रही है. She is flattering you by words because she wants a favor from you. Okay, as we as a kid also do that, we go to our parents and if we want something, what we do, we flatter our parents by saying good things, and then when we think yes, our parents are pretty much happy by what we are saying, then at the sudden point we start asking for the thing that we want. Okay, the favor that we wanted from our parents. Similarly, second example, we eat that we may live. Okay, it is expressing the purpose of living, that we eat so that we can live. Next, to denote possibility. Okay, may is used to denote the possibility. Let's see how. It may snow tonight. Okay, so here the modal verb may is used to show the possibility that the speaker thinks, or you can say he has he is seeing that the possibility is there that today it might snow. Okay, then the next one is I may be elected president. Okay, so here the expression, the possibility of the speaker in the expression or mood of the possibility is shown, that the speaker thinks that he may be get elected for the president's position. Next is to express a wish. Okay, may, the modal verb may is used to express a wish. Let's see how. May you have the best of luck. Okay, if you want to wish a person, then you express it by wishing them in by using modal verb may. For like for example, may you have the best of luck. May her soul rest in peace. So these two are wishes. Okay, so these were the uses of the modal verb may. Okay, so how we use modal verb may to express what type of things? To express permission, to express a purpose, to denote possibility, and to express a wish. Okay, these are the moods that the modal verb may expresses. Now let's see modal verb might. Might is used to denote a possibility that is more doubtful than may. In may, what we do, we simply, if you have a possibility, if you think about something that this is the possibility of, a thing to happen, like we have used here in this sentence, that it may snow tonight. Okay, so here the possibility is 50-50%, let's say, but in might the possibility is pretty less compared to the when we are using the modal verb may. Let's see example, she might pass. So here the possibility of the passing of the person is pretty less. Okay, the patient might recover. Here the possibility of the patient's recovery is pretty less, so we are using the word might instead of modal verb may. Okay, second is might is also used to denote extreme politeness during a discussion. Okay, if you you have the expression that you want to be pretty polite with someone when you are discussing something, then you can ask, use the modal verb might. Let's see how. Might I have a chance to speak? So here the speaker is, pretty politely asking for a chance to speak, so that he could present his part of the presentation, so that he could present his part of the discussion. If I might request you, could you teach us history? So here also the speaker is pretty politely asking the next person to, he is requesting him pretty politely that he wants to the other person to teach him history. So these were the uses of might. Might is used when the to express what type of expressions, to for when you have a doubtful, doubt about a possibility more than the doubt of may. Okay, may means more than the doubt you have when you are using modal verb may. Okay, and the second is when you want to denote extreme politeness during a discussion. Okay, children. So students, these were the modal verbs. This is the first part of the video. The second part of the video, we will discuss the rest of the modal verbs, and we will also discuss that what type of mood those modal verbs expresses. Okay. So I hope that all of you understood this first part of the video and you all watched the video clearly, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me in your Zoom sessions.